Good morning, everyone. How you doing? It's South Trevor Post. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope everyone is doing absolutely fabulous. Morning, evening, afternoon, night, you're sleeping, whatever it is. I hope you're doing well anyway. Welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. Now, before I start, please don't forget to subscribe and please don't forget to smash a like. I've got the link in the comments, so if you want to join the stream, please go ahead, put in a request. Good morning, Sonny. How you doing? Long time no see. I haven't seen you for ages. I hope you're doing well, my friend. So the link's in the comments. Basically, if you want to join, I'll try and get you on during the show. Now, let's get straight into it. Well, let's get into the news that broke yesterday is that Wan-Bissaka has agreed personal terms with West Ham United. Of course, Wan-Bissaka, Manchester United player, signed under the, I believe it was the Jose Mourinho. Was it the Jose Mourinho or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era for 50 million? It looks like he will be signing for West Ham imminently, which means there will be a here we go this week, which is fantastic news. And Wan-Bissaka leaving the club does create a ripple effect within the transfer market. I'm good, Sonny. Thank you. It does create a ripple effect within the transfer market in regards to now that Wan-Bissaka has left, Manchester United can now conclude a deal for a player like Mazraoui. So now that he has agreed personal terms, obviously nothing is signed on a dotted line. He has to complete a medical, etc. Once he has completed that medical, then and we're going to get here we go today. So once he's completed the medical, then everything can fall into place because obviously the transfer of Wan-Bissaka has to be completed. So I would like to wish Wan-Bissaka the best of luck. I think Wan-Bissaka has been a great servant for Manchester United over these years, has never moaned and played wherever he's been told to play, has never moaned about the position he's playing, has never moaned about playing out of position or not playing. He's always been there and he's always been a model pro for other players. So I wish Wan-Bissaka the best of luck. You see ambition. You see that ambition that he's gone. He hasn't sat on a wage like some of those players. He's gone and he wants to play football, and that's what's important. He believes in himself, and he has ambition to play football. And that, unfortunately, some of our players within our squad don't have this same ambition, do they? They have this mentality where they're happy to sit on a wage and they're happy to collect 100, 200,000 a year, a week. Should I say, good, but even a year, that's a lot of money. But a week, they're happy to sit on that and just let their contracts run out. And I feel like Wan-Bissaka deserves a lot of plaudits for the way he's acted, for the way he's conducted himself, played in the pre-season as well, never moaned, never leaked anything to the press. Good model pro, played last season left back, played right back, was very, very important for us last season. And he done a shift. He never was injured. He got injured a couple of times, but he wasn't injured for a long time. And he come back and he done the shift for us, which is fantastic. So I wish Wan-Bissaka the best of luck. Of course, as I said, it's not confirmed yet. He has to complete a medical, etc. So once the medicals are done and everything's signed, sealed, delivered, that should be a foregone conclusion. We were moving for Mazraoui, and Manchester United could get a here we go for Mazraoui very, very soon. It could be today. I believe there will be a here we go today in regards to transfers for Manchester United. As I said last week, that we should get a here we go by Friday. So Friday it is now, and that this is good news, Manchester United, because things have slowed down somewhat and people are getting a little bit disillusioned in regards to the transfers, etc. So there will be a here we go today, in my opinion. Hopefully there will be. I said last week there will be by Friday. So hopefully there will be a here we go by Friday. Wan-Bissaka leaving does open the door for Mazraoui, of course, but it could also open the door for a De Ligt as well. Now, that depends on transfers leaving, of course. One has gone, obviously, which is Wan-Bissaka for now. I know more than one have gone, but this last week, one has gone for us to seal some more deals. We also have McTominay. Scott McTominay could also be leaving the club. Fulham have put in another offer for Scott McTominay, somewhere, I believe, in the region of £30 million, I believe it is. So would you accept £30 million? I think we should just snap their hand off now and take the money. At the end of the day, all that money will go towards transfers and we can get Ugarte through the door much, much quicker, which will be good for us because we need that enforcer in midfield. We need that a specialised defensive midfielder in that in our side at the moment. We're really missing someone. We're missing and Ugarte, ain't we? We've been talking about Ugarte, it seems like, for months. We're missing that type of player. We need that type of player. And if we can get him through the door quickly, that would be fantastic. And if McTominay does leave, it does open the door for an Ugarte to come in. Although there are other offers on the table in regards to Ugarte, like a loan deal, which could also occur. Obviously, PSG would prefer a cash deal, but a loan deal could also be enticing for them in regards to some cash now and an obligation to buy at the end, which is good for them because they end up making more money in the long run, of course. Now, in regards to Ugarte, that brings me off to Veerman. 2 weeks ago, I think it was, I spoke about Joey Veerman of PSV Eindhoven in regards to him being a backup plan for Ugarte. Now, Veerman, big accounts are coming out now talking about Veerman. I spoke about Veerman 2 weeks ago, and at the end, that he is representing a backup plan for Ugarte in regards to Manchester United. Erik ten Hag is seen to be a big fan of Veerman, 25 years old, Dutch international. But as we know, we want Ugarte through the door. We want Ugarte because Ugarte is the player we need, and we set our heart on Ugarte. I think he's a better player. I think he's more of an enforcer. He's more of a leader, and he's got that South American grit, hasn't he? And instead of Veerman, I just believe that Veerman is not what we need at the moment. Of course, Erik ten Hag is a big fan of him. He's Dutch. He's going to be a fan of him. So at the end of the day, I would prefer Ugarte. But if Ugarte does fall through, it does look like Veerman is the next option. That brings me on to Otamendi. Otamendi, I'm a big fan of Otamendi. There was João Neves and there was Otamendi. We need that number 6, number 8 cover. We do, because the squad is quite light at the moment. So we need a number 6 and we need a number 8 as well. So I would also, rather than Veerman, I would rather get a Otamendi, for example, instead of a Veerman. If Ugarte doesn't work out, it's an Otamendi or a Veerman. We should get 2, in all theory, in all honesty. We should get 2 signings in there. We need 2 signings in that midfield, because our midfield is a little bit light, but it does look like Casemiro will be staying this season at the moment because of his astronomical wages. He looks like he will be staying this season, and I hope he has a good season. He's been okay in pre-season. Last game he was okay. The first game was a bit dodgy, but the last game he was okay against Real Betis. So I believe that if we do keep Casemiro, it looks like we'll only sign 1 midfielder, which could be Ugarte, Veerman, or Otamendi. Obviously, João Neves, which was my first choice, is going to PSG. I was unhappy about that deal. I don't think he should have went to PSG, in my opinion. I just feel like it's a bit of a waste. What do you feel about that? I just feel like that was a bit of a waste, in my opinion. So, as I said, we should get a here we go today, hopefully, fingers crossed, and that would make my prediction true, which I said last week, which I said there would be a here we go next Friday, which is today. It's Friday again. Yeah, it is. And we're going to get a here we go day. Hopefully, we'll get it today. Now, PSG have given Manchester United have given PSG an ultimatum in regards to Ugarte, and this is when I was just talking about Veerman, and if Ugarte doesn't sign, Veerman will be coming through the door. Manchester United have said they're not going to be held to ransom in regards to Ugarte. They're not going to pay too much in regards to Ugarte, so they must either accept a loan or accept a lower transfer fee. Good morning, Alex. How you doing? Defensive midfielder nervous. It's not a defensive mix right now. A defensive midfield nervous. It's not a defensive mix right now. Yeah, mate. Absolutely agree. Good point. In regards to Manchester United and PSG, Manchester United have given PSG an ultimatum. They have said that if you do not if you do not lower the price or accept a loan deal, we will walk away from the deal. That means they will Manchester United will most likely go for a Veerman or most likely go for Otamendi. I prefer Otamendi. Good morning, Uchechi, Gloria, what's going on? Good morning. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're wherever you are in the world. I hope you're doing fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me on the stream. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to smash a like. Yeah, so Manchester United could be walking away from this deal, and at the end of the day, PSG are really putting their feet in the sand, and they're really playing hardball with United in regards to Ugarte, which is strange, as they have signed João Neves, and I feel like Manchester United are right to walk away if PSG don't want to play ball, if they don't want to lower the price, and they don't want to accept a loan offer. Manchester United should walk away. Now, Veerman wouldn't be my first choice. It would be Otamendi. Otamendi would be the guy who I would bring in that midfield. It wouldn't be a Veerman, for example. I'm not a big fan of Veerman. At 25 years old, I haven't heard too much about him over the years. I mean, he's a good player, but he's just not the elite level we need. And Ugarte is that enforcer, is that one who can lead, he can captain the side. Him and Licha Martinez in the same team would be absolute fire, I believe. What do you think? Open transfer report effect, you mean? Yes, it's going to open the transfer ripple effect, mate. Exactly. It's going to. Excuse me if it obviously, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Yes. It will create a transfer ripple effect. It will open a transfer ripple effect or a domino effect, whatever you like. We get a loan for PSG. Are you posturing Ugarte only wants United? And yes, Ugarte does only want United, and this is the problem that PSG are playing hardball. This is why it's wrong what PSG are doing in regards to playing hardball. It is not right what they're doing. I think they should just accept the offer that Manchester United are offering, even if it's a loan deal. If Manchester United get a loan deal, Manchester United still have to pay PSG a fee, and when they pay PSG a fee, they have an obligation to buy as well. So in the long term, they do better. They do what they benefit more from the transfer, if you know what I mean. Let me just have a look at this private chat. Man United needs 2 centre backs. Yeah, Man United do need 2 centre backs. Man United, I'm going to come on to that right now. In regards to the injury with Yoro, it has created an urgency to sign another defender. Of course, Manchester United look likely to sign De Ligt anyway, but Manchester United will probably sign De Ligt. Now, there could be a number of players that could be a here we go today or Monday. Now, it is getting really close to the start of the season now. So Manchester United do have to move quickly in regards to these deals. Now, if Manchester United have these injuries in defence, they have to have two defenders, in my opinion. I think we have to bring in 2 defenders. I think there's obviously De Ligt who comes in, and a left-sided centre-back should come in my opinion, to cover Licha Martinez, because we cannot rely on one player who, you know, we got one left-sided centre-back at the moment. I know Luke Shaw can play left-sided centre-back. I know that. But at the end of the day, his injury record is not good enough, and we cannot carry these players anymore, guys. We cannot. Walk out Ugarte, PSG not reduce price. PSG will not reduce the price, but Man United could get a loan deal, which will be good. It doesn't benefit PSG to keep in Ugarte. If Ugarte isn't happy, he's already agreed to come to Manchester United. It doesn't make business sense for them to keep Ugarte, because at the end of the day, we're the front runners in regards to Ugarte. We're the ones who want Ugarte. We're the ones who are showing our hand in Ugarte, and we're pushing for Ugarte. And at the end of the day, if they're going to try and keep Ugarte, it's just not going to benefit them long term, is it? It's going to make them, it's going to kind of sabotage them somewhat if they keep Ugarte in regards to that. And an unhappy player is not a good player at the end of the day, in my opinion. We've had that at Manchester United over the past. We've had players who wanted to leave. Famously, Cristiano Ronaldo wanted to leave, didn't he? He wanted to leave the season before he left, and he said something about a prisoner mentality. He said he's been kept prison and stuff like that, which was disrespectful at the time. Of course, we were upset about that, but he wanted to sign for Real Madrid, and we kept him, didn't we? But he still performed. But obviously, we kept an unhappy player, which is not good business sense, is it really? Let me just see some of these private chats. I've got some private chats here. The Man United needs urgent replacements. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, Jefferson. Thank you, man. We really need smarter injuries. So they have new pattern. Yes, mate. I absolutely agree with you, mate. Jefferson. I agree. Private comment. Aruma, good morning. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining me on this stream. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to smash a like. You're welcome on the stream. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me this morning. In regards to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, it is a sad end to a underwhelming period for Manchester United. Of course, signed at a period that we were not great, and I feel like he's been good. He's been good for us, and I feel like we should show Aaron Wan-Bissaka respect. And the most important thing about Aaron Wan-Bissaka is that he has ambition. He left. He's not sitting on a wage waiting for his contracts to run out. Scott McTominay is another one that we need to get rid of. Of course, Scott McTominay is desperately clinging on to Manchester United, as he has done for the last few years, of course. Man, you lose time. BSG deal could alternative midfielder. Man United have alternative midfielders lined up. Of course, there's Veerman. I'm not a big fan of Veerman. I don't know about you, Laruk, but I'm not a big fan about Veerman. But it was better than nothing. If we do sign him, it is better than nothing. It's better than having a Veerman than no Veerman. It's better than veering in the right direction, isn't it? Than not veering in any direction. Veering in a direction than veering in no direction, if you know what I mean. Excuse the pun. Jefferson. Yes. So there you go. That is absolutely spot on. Guys, you can come on the show. I put the link on the comments so you can have your say. If you're not too shy, you can come on and have a talk with me. You can have a good talk with Uncle Sal. Here we go. Hi, Ugarte Delit. Here we go today. We hope so, my friend, fan. Good morning. How you doing? We hope so, my friend. We hope so. I said it last week that we would get a here we go today. Now, major outlets, for example, major podcasts and fan cams are reporting certain things that I've said a week ago, which was vehement. Of course, now they're talking about vehement, and I talked about 2 weeks ago. This man here, this one man army. I'm getting the news to you early. I'm not putting all these air mileage, all these traveling mileage for nothing. You know, I do pick up information, of course. Luckily, I went to Turkey at a time they hadn't banned social media, because right now they're banning social media, isn't it? It's mad. A cheeky Adam Walton bid. Adam Walton will fetch a hefty cheeky price as well. Adam Walton, of course, is Premier League proven, playing for Crystal Palace, now an England squad, you know, and his price is gonna have the English tax, British tax, whatever you want to call it. It's gonna go up, and he's gonna go for a lot of money. So I don't think it will go anything less than 60, 70 million if we are lucky. I'm not sure whether the guy has a release clause. We'll have to check that out. But I heard it's 60, 70 million for Adam Walton. He's a good player, but we need someone in there who's a bit more naughty, a bit more crazy in that, a bit more. What do I say? An enforcer, someone who's going to put the tackle in and fight, a bit like Roy Keane. Do you know what I mean? Someone like that we need, and I feel like Ugarte is that guy, and I believe Ugarte will get through the door later than expected, but he should go through the door soon. Osman Diomande, centre back, good. But not Man United to go for. Man United don't go for these players, unfortunately. Sadly, Man United don't go for these players. Man United do not have an extensive range of picking out talent from around Europe, unfortunately. It's getting better, but we're not like we used to be when we used to sign Jaap Stam and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Peter Schmeichel. We used to scout players and find the next big thing, if you know what I mean. Not here we go, because PSG basically, here we go. We could have a here we go today in regards to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Aaron Wan-Bissaka could be a here we go today. He has to go for. He's agreed personal terms with West Ham, which means it's a go ahead for Mazraoui if he does all go through nicely, of course. Ugarte, power player. Yeah, Ugarte is a powerful player, and we need someone like that in our midfield. I think because we got Mainu. Mainu is a different type of player, is a more finesse type of player. We have Casemiro, but we do need cover in that area in regards to Ugarte with that power, as you said, fan. That's exactly right. Good morning, Kingdom. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing very well. Welcome to the stream. Please don't forget to subscribe, guys. Please don't forget to smash a like on the video. Very important. We're building together. We are family here. We are community, and the community is building day by day. Big up the originals, those guys who are here from day one. Big respect. We're getting the information. We've got to get the information first, and we're getting the information new. And as the information keeps flooding in, I believe there will be big news today. I hope there is big news today. Obviously, anything can happen in football. As I said a few weeks ago, do you remember when John Obi Mikel, the Nigerian international John Obi Mikel, signed for Manchester United, but then ended up going to Chelsea? So anything can happen in this world of football. It's crazy that what can happen. Chido Martin is also another one who could sign, sealed, delivered today. It could be another young player we confirmed on that conveyor belt of talent that we have at Carrington at the moment. It is getting good, isn't it? We have got some good young players. Ahmad will start for Man City, but I hope Ahmad starts, Irfan. I really do hope that Ahmad starts. I think he deserves to start. I think he deserves a place in that team, because I think every time he has played, he has done something and he's contributed something. What I like about Ahmad is that he knows what pass to make. He makes the right pass all the time. And I believe that he should be starting on the right midfield. What that does for Sancho is another story. What that does for Anthony is another story. We don't want any more disgruntled players in that squad. If players get disgruntled because they're not playing, then they need to leave. And that's my opinion. Because at the end of the day, it's a squad game, and we need to remember about the squad, not just that. Ahmad is fire, mate. Ahmad is a generational. We're so lucky to have him. And if we're going to thank Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for one thing, we're going to thank him for Ahmed, because that was scouting. And that's what I've been talking about, scouting. Scouting is so important in regards to finding the next big thing. At the moment, there are players across Europe that are good enough, but we're just not looking at those players. And it's sad that we're not looking at those players. But at the end of the day, we have our targets, and we're stubborn with our targets, and we've been fighting for those players for a long time now. Obviously, Ugate's been going on and on and on and on, and it's getting a bit dragging now. It's getting a bit annoying now. So Manchester United should really have other targets. Veerman, there's better out there than Veerman, in my opinion. I don't know how you feel about Joey Veerman, but I just feel like there's better out there. He's 25 going on 26, hasn't really set the world alight, and Pelistri some summer signing. Yeah, Ahmed is going to be like a summer signing. Good morning, Ski. How you doing? Ahmed is going to be a summer signing, like a summer signing, in my opinion, because Ahmed is going to start next season. He's going to start against Manchester City, and that's great news, isn't it? Let's look at some of the private comments here. Sell McTominay, and you can keep Eriksen, keep Casemiro, and get Amrabat back. We need either Garte or Zubimendi along too. Ahmed has really matured in his play so far. So he's been learning how to play the right position since he's been on the bench. Yes, he has. And at the end of the day, in regards to that, I would sell Eriksen myself. I think his legs are gone, in my opinion. Good morning, Mishek. How you doing? Hope you're well. We're waiting for that. Here we go. We're waiting for the Ugarte. Here we go. Of course we are. That's what we're waiting for. I think today is a very, very big day, a pivotal day in Manchester United transfer window. Good morning, Kieran. How you doing? Kieran Nixon, good to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. With Casemiro Pride in charge, I don't think he will stick around if Ugarte is named as starting, and he may take the high road. Well, it's up to him. You know, this is a squad game, and that's an absolutely good point from Cohen there. If he doesn't want to accept the fact that we're playing for a squad, not just individuals, then the door is there. At the end of the day, we need players to play, to be on page, to set the thing. It is a squad game. If you look at the old Manchester United sides of the past, the '99 side, you know, for example, that was a squad. We had Andy Cole, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Dwight York, Teddy Sheringham, and those players were all very good in their own right. In their own right, they're all very good. But at the end of the day, it's a squad game, and the squad wins you titles. The squad wins you trophies, and that's what it's all about. Not just individual players. If Casemiro doesn't want to play ball with us, then that's it. But hopefully he will. Hopefully he won't take the high road, and hopefully he will be patient in regards to chances will come. We're going to play 60, 70 games next season. We've got the Europa League, FA Cup, League Cup, Premier League. We've got all those games to come. So stick around. Something big is happening here. Do you know what I'm saying? Mount, I don't like about you. Mount, I don't like what about you. What's that? I don't like what about you, Mount. I don't get that. I mean, as in regards to Mason Mount, I'm not a big fan of Mason Mount, as I said. I mean, I didn't think we needed him at the time, but I wish him the best of luck. It's a big season this season for Mason Mount. He's got a lot to prove this season, and he cannot be messing around. No more messing around. Why do you think today will be here? I believe that there will be some news today, and that's just not me saying that because I'm the all-knowing and all-powerful, and I'm the guy who knows everything in regards to football. It's not true. At the end of the day, I said a week ago that today it feels like the day that there will be a here we go. I believe there's a lot of noises coming out, including from Fabrizio Romano, etc., that United could do a deal today, which will be good. Whether it's out, whether it's in, it's another story. But as we heard yesterday, Aaron Wan-Bissaka has agreed personal terms with West Ham. And as Aaron Wan-Bissaka has agreed personal terms with West Ham, that means Manchester United are almost certain to sign Mazraoui. Mazraoui, a right back who will cover the loss of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, of course. And big respect to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, as I've said throughout the show. If we play one pivot, Ugarte, we might struggle. Yeah, it might do, but obviously Mainu can play as that 6, that number 8. They can also interchange between each other, which will be good. We do need to get the balance right, of course. Absolutely, 100% need to get the balance right, and we have to be careful how we play. We don't want to be too open next season. But Ugarte has better legs. He has not better legs, but he has more legs than Casemiro, doesn't he? So Ugarte will come in and he will clean up that area in front of the defence, which would be great. We need that. We do need that. Amrabat, of course, is another one. I've got big respect for Amrabat. He came in the circumstances which were bad. He went in at left back, ending up injured. Obviously, first few weeks he was injured, then went at left back, never played in his right position. I think he's a better player than people think. And I think that deal could still go over the line. I still believe if we get Ugarte, Amrabat will stay. if we get Ugarte on loan. Amrabat will stay, I believe. So that would be Casemiro, Amrabat, and Ugarte. It's not bad when you think about it. It's not bad as long as we don't have too many injuries, because at the moment injuries are becoming a bit of a pain for us. We had the injury yesterday morning in regards to Rashford against Real Betis, which was a nightmare. Obviously, it looked like a metatarsal, looked like his ankle. I don't know what it was, but we're waiting on news for that. Hopefully, it's not serious. Thank God we're covered in those positions, but we are very, very light in our squad. As you saw when the second team came in, the lightness of our squad is absolutely horrific, and we do need other signings in there, of course. 2000 is the best Man United in my life. Fan 2018 was probably the greatest team to ever play in regards to the Manchester United. 2018 was powerful in every position. We had Tevez, Rooney, we had Ronaldo, we had Hargreaves, we had Scholes, we had Giggs. Scholes was on the bench, for goodness sake. We had Rio Fernandez, Evra, we had Gary Neville, we had Wes Brown. You know, we had a squad, Hargreaves, we had a squad of a brilliant, brilliant squad that was. It was absolutely fantastic. My team will always be the 1999 team. I love the 1999 team. And unfortunately, I was around during the 1994 team as well, which I felt was a bit harsh on the 1994 team because they couldn't play in Europe. The whole team couldn't play in Europe because back then you had a European law which you had to play a certain amount of English players, homegrown players. So we could never play our full team. I thought the 1994 team would have won the Champions League, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I believe it. Odell, good morning. Odell, blessing. You're a blessing this morning. Good to see you, my friend. Please let cash in on McTominay. Lindelof probably loan out Anthony. Get in De Ligt, Ugarte, and 2 good signings. That is what we're talking about. That's what we want. And I hope that by the time we play Fulham on the first game of the season, we will have those names through the door. And we have some here we goes. It's going to be a hectic few days, a hectic couple of weeks. Things have slowed down. Ineos. Well, not Ineos, but Wilcox, Barada, and Ashwood are in LA at the moment, which is not good, obviously, for speed, of course, speed. Hi, sir. Good morning, Dabashish. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Any transfer update? Yeah, I've been saying at the start of the show, obviously, Wan-Bissaka has agreed personal terms with West Ham, which means he's likely to sign for West Ham, which could open the door, which looks likely to open the door for Mazraoui to come in and fill up that right back berth. Now, also, Manchester United could strike a deal early for De Ligt. It looks like talks are positive between Bayern Munich. De Ligt, of course, didn't go to the Bayern Munich tour, which is telling. And obviously, when players don't go to their tour, it's either they're injured or they're going to another club, which is obviously, 2008, definitely for me, in my lifetime. I was born in 91, the treble. 2008 was a fantastic side. I mean, you know, when that time, it was like basically you enter a game and you knew you were going to win. You know that feeling, you knew you were going to win. I was so lucky I had a season ticket at that time. And I went to most games. And honest to God, I swear to you, it weren't only 2008, it was 2006, 2007 as well. 2006, 2007, we smashed Roma 7-1. And I was in the stands, and it was like Man United created fear. They created fear back then. Between that time, between 2007 and 2009, Man United were absolutely unbeatable. I feel like we were hampered by Barcelona, that great Barcelona side that won the Champions League. We would have won 3 Champions Leagues, in my opinion, if it wasn't for that Barcelona tight side, of course, who were just a little bit above. You know, I think we were tactically naive against Barcelona. We did not come out in 2008, don't forget. But I feel like we were tactically naive against Barcelona during that time. Casemiro would definitely want to leave if it's Ugarte and Amrabat coming in. Well, Casemiro, if you want to leave, the door is over. Don't close the door behind you. Do close the door behind you, please. At the end of the day, if you're not going to work for the squad, if you're not going to work for the team, that's the door. Let me look at some of these private comments. You're free to write a real comment on the thing where we'll be on Right, I'm going to get some people on in a bit. I will get some people on. Thank you for being patient. I'll definitely get you guys on and have a little chat. Good morning, Youssef. How you doing? Mention I need to sign Amrabat back. Yep, I agree. Amrabat is underrated in my team. Barcelona were just stacked as hell. Yeah, Barcelona team were just stacked. My problem with the Champions League finals against Barcelona is that Manchester United went into the games a bit naively, especially at Wembley when we played Ryan Giggs as a centre midfielder. It just didn't work, did it? But obviously Fletcher was suspended, so what can we do? What can we do? It was just a level above. But if Glazers backed Sir Alex Ferguson during 2007, 2008, 2009. If the Glazers backed Sir Alex Ferguson, we would have had another Champions League at least in the belt. I believe that. They did not back him. They did not back him properly. At the end of the day, that Ronaldo team, the team with Ronaldo, was developing from 2003. It was going up from then. You know, it wasn't. It was building. You know, and we went through the doldrums. We came third and fourth and etc. And we were building up to that team. Now, all Alex Ferguson needed was squad depth, and he needed the Glazers to spend some money, which they didn't. Let him leave. I hope he can leave Lawal, because his wages are absolutely astronomical, of course, as we know. His wages are absolutely madness. So it's gonna be a bit difficult for him to leave, of course. It's gonna be hard for him to leave. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Let me see if I can get some guys on that, because this guy's writing me some loads of questions, loads of on private chats. Is your camera on? I'll let you know if your camera's on. Anyway, let me see his private chat here. Casemiro looks sharp pre-season. I feel it can come good. Yeah, he does look sharp this season. Casemiro does look sharp. He looks good this season. Thankfully, hopefully he stays like that, and hopefully he can perform like he did in the first game of the season, first year at Man United. In those years, playing with small clubs was fun. Yeah, it was fun. We were smacking 6-7 goals against these teams, Ski, and we were doing. It was just exciting to be a Man United fan during that time. It was, and you know, when you felt like when you enter a game, you just feel like, we're winning this. It doesn't matter. We're winning this. And that's how I felt then. You know, I felt that during the 90s with Manchester United, the 90s, Man United gave, you know, when they entered the pitch, you just knew that we're going to win the game. And it was like, this is easy. Coventry, you know, it's just like that. We just brushed them off. It was disrespectful, but it was true. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's how it was back then. Unfortunately, customer salary has died. Yeah, unfortunately, even the wages of Casemiro are too much for even Saudi to comprehend. Even Saudi don't want to pay those type of wages, and it shows you how badly run we have been over the years, throwing money at players' wages, ridiculous wages. Now, in regards to Casemiro, he is a generational in regards to defensive midfielders, one of the greatest defensive midfielders of all time. We cannot discount that. But last season, he was not good. On his first season, I thought Casemiro was immense. He was man of the match in the League Cup final, as we remember, and obviously he was sent off a couple of times and injured a couple of times. It derailed his season a little bit, and I remember in Ten Hag's first season when Casemiro was playing, we were talking about the title halfway through the season. We said we can catch the title, we can get this, but then they suspended Casemiro and everything fell off. And I remember the fan base back then when Casemiro weren't playing, everyone was like, oh my goodness, we're going to fall down now, we're going to lose. And it was true. We didn't win games, did we, when he didn't play? I don't think Casemiro or Antony will leave this summer. Sancho is more likely to be PSG. Missed out on Osimhen and Nico Williams. Nico Williams would have been a fantastic signing. Of course, we do have good cover in the width, of course. In regards to Osimhen, yeah, I would have loaned him myself if I could. I mean, Chelsea loaning him, why didn't we go for that loan? You know, well, we need squad, we need an experienced striker. I don't know why we wouldn't have gone for that. But obviously, it seems that our priorities are elsewhere. And I believe we're trying to get defenders and we're trying to get midfielders in there. Money seems to be a problem. And this is why I wanted to full sell Glazers out. Debt cleared. This is why I was saying that. I was singing the guitar song, wasn't I, and stuff. And at the end of the day, that's what I wanted. And many of us did want that because we wanted the Glazers out. Many people, media, were slandering, obviously, Qatar, and they were slandering the human rights element of it, etc. The hypocrisy was absolutely peak, and it was disgusting to see the way they were talking about other country like Qatar and a country like that. And obviously, we ended up getting Ineos. So Ineos are part owners, and we have to just do it as it is, you know, keep going and just move on and support it. When will Antony leave? Antony doesn't look like leaving anytime soon. If he does leave, it will be on loan. In regards to Antony, it hasn't quite worked out for him last season. His first season wasn't too bad as people think. It wasn't, but his wages are astronomical again. Antony was on like 30 to 40,000 a week at Ajax. We ended up paying him over 100 grand a week, which is silly, really, when we're Manchester United, and he should have been excited to sign for Man United and would have took not as an increase like that in wages. It was an absolute silly deal when you look at it, and it was a last minute deal as well, and we ended up tripling the money he was worth. Well, obviously he was worth 40 million. We ended up paying 90 million. It's crazy when you think about it, isn't it? Zubimendi would be fantastic if we do sign Zubimendi. Zubimendi's another one on Manchester United's radar. I prefer him to Veerman, of course. I prefer him because he could play the number 8 and he could play the number 6, which would be good. Wages are far more in Saudi because they don't want to pay tax. Yes, they don't pay tax. They don't pay tax, but I live in the UAE. There are other costs. There are other costs. So at the end of the day, he is on a lot of money, and if he's going to go to Saudi, he's going to want more as well. So I think Casemiro, what is he on, 300,000 a week? He's going to want more than that, and I feel like they don't believe him, showing your hate towards our player. They had not Sam, not Otamendi. That's the ex-player. Nearly fell out of bed then. That's his ex-City player. Yeah, not Otamendi. My goodness me. Can you imagine we sign Otamendi? That would be absolutely madness, wouldn't it? It would be absolutely crazy if we sign Otamendi. How old is he? 36, 37? That would be madness, isn't it? Please don't hate towards player, especially when he had a better season than said. Mate, Mark, no one's showing hate towards anything, so don't be a snowflake, my friend. Don't be a snowflake. I thought you're better than that. Don't be a snowflake. It is not hate. It's constructive criticism. I've been watching Man United for a long time, mate. A long time. And Zubimendi, we're talking about rumours here, my friend. Rumours. So the end of the day, it's rumours. You're not the all-knowing. You and your crew are not the all-knowing, my friend. So don't cry about it. It's just news. Don't worry about it, all right? Just listen. Be calm. Hopefully, Anthony will have a good season next season. I really do. I hope he doesn't cut in and shoot too much. I hope he creates a little bit. I hope that's it. All right? So don't worry about it, mate. Don't worry. All right? Go to the money launderer, Mick. He's on the other side, pal. All right? Yeah, so at the end of the day, when I was talking about Otamendi, it is a good, obviously, it is a good deal if we did do, or not Otamendi, Zubimendi. Sam, you've confused me. You confused me here. Zubimendi is a player that I really admire. I like the player. He's a number 6. He's a number 8. I like that type of player, you know, who can versatile. I believe he'd be better than Veerman, in my opinion. So, yeah, that would be a good deal to do. Whether we would do that is another situation, isn't it? It's not great that we're looking at Veerman instead of Ugarte. I like Ugarte at the end of the day. And now people can say, well, I'm going to bring this into it because at the end of the day, criticism is part of the game. Criticism is part of life. If you do not criticize people, you do not improve. Was Anthony a good signing? Has he been a good signing so far? You have to put it in a balanced way. It's multi-layered. At the end of the day, Anthony had a season last season that was unfortunate because he had off-field issues. Now, we're not here to carry players. We're not a charity. We're Manchester United. I've been supporting this club before some of these guys were born, right? So at the end of the day, I don't care if your name is Andre Kanchelskis or your name is Anthony, right? If you're not going to perform, if you're not going to put your heart and you're not going to, I'm not saying he's not putting his heart, but I'm saying he's not performing. If a player's not performing, you know where it is. Do you know what I mean? If you're going to come, I don't like that word hate. It's not hate. It's constructive criticism. Hate is a snowflake word. I don't do hate. I've never done hate. When that season starts, when it becomes Fulham, I'm on the train of supporting every single player on that pitch. And people know that about me. They know that about me. I support the manager, and I don't just say it. I don't just sit up. I don't sugarcoat it. I don't sit and call myself Realist TV when I can't even speak on the channel and speak the truth. You know, this is what it's about. This channel is about the truth, and this channel is about telling names and telling the truth, not sugarcoating things. Because that's what people do. I don't hate. I constructive criticize. I want these players to do well myself. I want them all to do well. Every single one of them I want to do well. And at the end of the day, if they're not performing, we're entitled to call that out. Just like Scott McTominay has not performed. Just like Marcus Rashford is not performing. Just like Sancho is not performing. As people know, I went online on Twitter and everyone barraged me with hate. And I don't care because it isn't hate really, is it? It's just criticism. I put a video of Jadon Sancho training in Twitter, or in training, and what happened? I had, oh my goodness, you hate Sancho, you know Sancho, he's been bullied and blah blah blah, and it's not about bullying, it's not about hate. If a player doesn't perform well for the club, that's it. And Sancho does need to leave. I would say Rashford needs to leave as well before Anthony. And this is the thing: if you watch the show from the beginning, it's not about, oh, we hate the player. I believe Anthony is staying, and I hope he does well. But yes, Rashford does need to leave before Anthony. Yes, Sancho does need to leave before Anthony. Perhaps Pellistri needs to leave as well because he's not going to get in the team under him. Now, I'm a bit harsh sometimes with my words. I'm a bit mad sometimes with my words, but I'm going to say it like this, right? I say it from the heart, and I say it from there. I do not hate any player that plays for Manchester United. Right? I do not hate. I've had season tickets at Man United. I beg any one of you to put a picture of you at Old Trafford. Right? I've had season tickets at Man United. I've been around the world watching my club. Right? Traveled the world from London. And it's not about hate. It's about wanting our great club to be back at the top of the summit. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Isn't it, my friends? Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to smash a like. It gets a little bit heated, but we're here just talking about football. It's only football at the end of the day. Right. Blah, blah, blah. Let's go. Big up Reds. You got the same name as my brother. Big up. Yeah. So listen, at the end of the day, we are here to support Manchester United, and we hope Manchester United do the well. We're not in. At the end of the day, no one knows. No one is sitting there in the office, sitting next to a Barada and a Wilcox and an Ashford and thinking, you know what? I've got secret sources. I've got secret sources, just like your boy does. He's not got no sauces, mate. He's only sauces, mayonnaise, and fucking ketchup. Do you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, just listen to what I'm saying. At the end of the day, we have to be patient. We have to look at what's out there in the market and say, look, Zubimendi's available. We could sign him. And it's quite possible. A team like Manchester United have Zubimendi on their radar. That's the difference, right? At the end of the day, if opinion is not for you, don't twist it into hate, my friend. I've been in the music industry 20 years, right? And hate is a very snowflake word. Yeah. Big up, Kenny fan. Big up, Kerwin. I feel sometimes a little pity towards Anthony to live up to the transfer fee. And that's exactly constructive criticism, what I'm saying, in Windows. So it's all his fault. Frankie de Jong, Don Murta, Richard Arnold. Kerwin, absolutely spot on. It was not his fault. His first season was good. Anthony's first season was good. I admire Anthony in his first season. His second season, well, only the transfer fee. It was also his off-field issues as well. He had some off-field issues, criminality as well. So there was a lot of problems going on in that sort of Danya, whatever. We don't want to go back into that again. So there was a lot of problems in regards to that. So it was a bit madness, wasn't it? I believe that the same squad this year we can achieve better. By the way, Hanja Solo, good morning. How are you doing? I believe in with some squad this year we can achieve better. Just because we have better coach like Ruud van Nistelrooy, I see different kind of attacking style, touch speed. I saw versus Arsenal. Yes, mate, I saw it as well. There's a different type of Manchester United this time. There's a different type of Manchester United, a different animal this year, I believe. They're a different beast this year, in my opinion. I don't know what you feel about that, but I saw some patterns of play. Even against Real Betis, there were patterns of play in that game. Well, mad. They were doing triangles, interchanging. There was a lot of play going on. Right. So at the end of the day, it was a very, very good performance in the first half, I felt. And we've seen a lot of positives against Arsenal. And it's a very good comment, that is, because we have. And positively looking forward to the season. It looks like players will be ready tactically as well as physically in regards to being ready for the first game against Fulham. Obviously, I want to win the Charity Shield. Manchester City, if we do defeat Manchester City for the second time at Wembley in a row, it will be an absolute bet. It'd be a good start to the season, wouldn't it? Ski. It was Fergie, Sancho. We have a taste of that boot. If it was Sancho would have been out the door last season, mate. He would have been gone. If it was Sir Alex Ferguson and Sancho wouldn't even be at the club, because we would have studied Sancho beforehand, before signing him. We would have looked at his attitude and looked at things on top of that. But if he doesn't leave Manchester United, which I think he should leave Manchester United, Ski, I think he should leave, then we have to support. Right, at the end of the day, if we get Ugarte on loan, United will have to catch the back in for Branthwaite. I think the Ligt is second choice for anyone else. Alex, Branthwaite obviously is overpriced at the moment, so we cannot afford Branthwaite. Everton wants something like £17 million. We're offering 65 million euros. So it is a little bit low on what they're saying. Manchester United will not be held to ransom and they will not break the bank for Branthwaite. I don't think we can afford him. I think we can, but obviously, technically, we cannot afford him. I think we have got the money, but we're not going to overpay it. And I like Branthwaite, one of my favourite players this last year or so. I think he should have been in the England squad. I think he's a good player, but I don't think we're going to pay the money for him, in my opinion. New comments, yeah, Sam Zubimendi has got a 50 million release clause. Ignore those snowflakes. Yeah, he has got a 50 million release clause. He has, and that would be an absolute snip for a player like Zubimendi. Did you watch the Euros when we played England played Spain? Did you see the game change when Zubimendi came on? When Zubimendi came on and Rodri came off, and I was thinking when Rodri came off, England are going to win this. Zubimendi bossed the midfield. Did you see that? He bossed the midfield. Yeah, all those players need to leave Fan. I really hope that they leave. This is a big season for a lot of these players. They do need to work this season. They do need to move on this season. They need to prove themselves this season. Sancho, of course, Anthony, Mount, Harry. I don't do player FC here. So at the end of the day, if it's player FC, if it's a player you like, I change my opinion day to day on players based on their performances. So if these players come out next season and they perform and they do well, I'll be holding my hands up and thinking fantastic. But we do the eye test here. We do the eye could defend against Anthony. At the end of the day, Anthony cuts and shoots. Left foot, cut, shoot. Left foot, cut, shoot. Why don't he take on the player on the right? Why don't he cut in and try and put in some crosses in? It's not just about goals, stat padding. It's not just about that. We need him to do something different. And at the end of the day, if we have aspirations in regards to challenging for the title, challenging for the league, etc., we have to move on, guys. We have to think like, we have to think like winners. Think like winners. This is no ground. This is not the time now for showing sympathy towards players, showing having like all these little mushy feelings towards players. I'm not into that stuff, man. No. What's going on? Sam, yeah, you said Otamendi before, mate. That's why I said, yeah, mate, I got my words mixed up. Otamendi, can you? I got my words mating out one. Is saying, I got my words muddled up, mate. Sorry about that. Yeah, thank you for correcting me, though. That's what it's all about. It's Zubimendi. There you go. Sam, 1987. Big year as well. Big year, 1987. Kenny, no one is saying that it's a constructive criticism if he doesn't perform well. Fantastic. Well said, Kenny. If he doesn't perform well, we say it as it is. We don't hate people. We don't know these people. How can we hate them? If they're not performing, we say they're not performing. People are laughing at us. Our rival fans are laughing at us in regards to Anthony. And this is the fact. We cannot stat pad and say, well, he scored 3 goals. He scored more than Grealish. Use your eye test. It's about creating as well. Beckham, I was raised on Beckham. I was raised on Andre Kanchelskis. I was raised on Brian Robson. I was raised on Paul Ince. I was raised on Paul McGrath. I was raised on these big players, massive players. Paul McGrath kicked out the team. Kanchelskis kicked out the team. Right? Beckham kicked out the team. Bigger players than Anthony. Bigger, better, creating every single week. It's not about hate. It's about elevation, evolution. It's about moving on. And if the player is not doing the business, we cannot praise. For goodness sake, this is not Willy Wonka. We do not sugarcoat things. This is not an episode of the Teletubbies. This is Manchester United. We're not here to have sweet, lovely conversations with it. With these people. Now I've made mistakes. I've been on these people's show and I've been talking on people's show. I've invited these people on the show and I've given them chances and I've given other people chances. And I know some of these people are not even like clued on in regards to Manchester United, and I'm coming here, I'm coming on these shows and I'm talking and they're like interrupting and they're you can't say that and blah blah blah. And this is many times this has happened. If we're gonna progress as a football team, we're gonna move as a football team, we need to be ruthless. No, we're not saying, if he stays, we're not going to support him. This is not side TV. We don't hold grudges, right? At the end of the day, we're going to support the player if he plays for Manchester United. I don't hate the player. I hope he proves me wrong. I hope he goes on a run and I hope he does well. And I'm not going to have egg on my face because Man United are winning. I'm the happiest man on this planet at the end of the day. And that's what it's about. Big up, Kenny. Thank you for that comment, by the way. Anthony is at the end of the day, people have opinions. Anthony, I don't think he's like awful. I just feel like the circumstances, the mitigating circumstances that he's been dealt has been difficult, for him. At the end of the day, he's got ability. He has. Is it a Manchester United ability? This is the whole thing. And at the end of the day, if it's a Manchester United ability, then good, go for it. Show me the Manchester United ability. I test. Not 2 goals he scored against this team or that team, because then I can get Luke Chadwick and start comparing stats with Luke Chadwick and Anthony. You'll be shocked. So at the end of the day, it's not about hate. Hate is not even in my world. A lot of love in my world. A lot of love in my world. At the end of the day, I don't have hate for anyone, and I don't have hating on players. That's an insult to me. If you insult me, I insult you, guy. Right. I'm from Ireland, and I'm staying out for the Liverpool match. Me too, mate. It's on for me. The game kicks off. Guess what? 3:40 a.m. for me. It's going to be Saturday morning stroke Sunday. Saturday, was it? No, Sunday morning stroke Saturday. It's 3:40 a.m. It's confusing, isn't it? It's madness. We're playing these games ridiculous times, and especially playing Liverpool Reds, especially playing Liverpool. It's going to be a tough game. When you're watching Liverpool, there's no friendlies. When it's Man United versus Liverpool, there's no friendlies. It's madness, having it at 3:40 in the morning. That's not good for your blood pressure, is it? That's not good for your anxiety, is it? Early in the morning, Man United versus Liverpool. That's a bit of a mad one. We're all looking forward to the World Cup in 2026, though, isn't it? Mad. Mad. Should not talk about Mohamed's been United 5. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm talking about, I'm not criticising Ahmed. I'm not criticising Anthony. I'm not criticising any of those players. I'm going by Anthony. Ahmed hasn't had a chance in the Manchester United team, proper chance. He deserves a chance now. He's shown us. He deserves a chance. That's not saying Anthony won't get his chance, but he deserves a chance. And that is what we're talking about. Hi, Sniper Man. How you doing? Don't snipe at me today. I know about you, my friend. Kenny, just hope the players perform well and play for the manager this season. Exactly, and that's what it's about. We hope that, Kenny, these players play well, and that's what we're talking about. We want these players to play well. There's no hate in there. This is Manchester United we're talking about, right? Manchester United. Like, there's been players I didn't like in the past. There's been players I've disliked. The other players are like. Other players are like, do you know what I mean? So madness, man, madness. And at the end of the day, it's just, we hope Manchester United win games, and we hope we progress in regards to that. Sniper Man, am I leaving where, the country, or do you know iShowSpeed? Yes, I have a connect to iShowSpeed. My friend, obviously Mark Goldbridge, knows iShowSpeed, so I have a connect. I would love to get him on the show to talk about Man United. That'd be absolutely fantastic. I've got some big things planned this season. I've got some huge things planned, believe it. I've got lots of big people coming on, and this channel will keep on growing. I'm in competition with myself, not anyone else. There's many people, they're in competition, they watch me, and at the end of the day, they're in competition with me. And I'm not in competition with anyone. I'm only in competition with myself. The important thing in life is always improve yourself first, and always have competition with yourself. I don't look at other people, I just do it, But iShowSpeed is a legend, mate. I like him. He's a legend. I would get him on the show in a heartbeat. He's a different breed. But mate, he's living. At the end of the day, he's a personality, and I love personalities. I love people with a personality, people who are enthusiastic, and he's done well for himself. So good about the brother. Do you think Amrabat should be bought? If we can afford Amrabat, yeah. If we get Ugarte through the door and it's a cash deal, it doesn't look like Amrabat will be staying. But if we can get a loan deal for Ugarte, then that will be different. So at the end of the day, if it's a cash deal for Ugarte, will Amrabat and Casemiro play second fiddle? Will they do that? Obviously, it's about the squad, and if we have a good squad, if we have a big squad, then that's it. Ugarte, Rabiot, maybe Amrabat after we get. Yes, Mark, agree. Yeah, we need a big squad, and as I said, that's exactly what we need. Call me Sire. Good morning. What's going on? My friend? Big up, Mark. Yeah, that's a good comment. Rabiot, maybe. Amrabat after we get Ugarte and Rabiot. We have that. By the way, I'm going to go back to that comment. If we do have that midfield, I'll be very excited next season. I'm excited now, but if we do get that midfield, it'll be a very exciting times. As Call Me said, exciting times. We are winning the Premier League. I'm confident. I'm going to die on this hill. I said we'll challenge for the Premier League. I didn't say we'll win it, but I think we'll challenge for the Premier League, in my opinion. I didn't say we're going to win it. But I think we can. And I believe that we can. And I believe that's the sort of ambition that we should have. Aim for the moon, land on the stars. Aim for the stars, land on the clouds. If you aim for the clouds, you land in the mud, sort of thing. So I believe that. I hope Wan-Bissaka sells. Yeah, Wan-Bissaka's agreed terms with West Ham. It looks like he'd be out the door. And I just want to show big respect to our Wan-Bissaka. Very model professional, in my opinion. Played left back, right back last season. Really helped us out last season. He's ambitious and he wants to leave, and he's got ambition, to be honest. It makes complete sense. You've asked that question, Rashi, a footballer than an Anthony. He's still in the pub. McTominay should stay. Let me read that. Sorry. You should still in the pub from last night. Yeah, it makes complete sense. You asked me a question. Is Rashi a better footballer than Anthony? You still... I didn't ask the question. It wasn't me. I didn't ask that question. But I still think McTominay should stay. McTominay... the thing with McTominay is that the money that from McTominay will go straight towards transfers. If we sell him for 30 million, that will go straight towards transfers. I don't think he's good enough, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, Sniper Man. Don't snipe at me. Kenny, Fan TV, we need to compete. Exactly. It's all about competing now. It's all about Challenge Round League. No more top 4. We get top 4. That's what we're aiming for. None of that anymore. None of that. That's not in my DNA. I'm not in for top 4. We've got to stop this celebrating losing mentality. You know, stop celebrating it. I have not sipped that coffee, but I do think we are having a cracking season, and maybe two. Mate, Mark, I respect you. And at the end of the day, we know we're on the same page. We're passionate about our football club. We are, you know, and at the end of the day, I believe we will challenge. You're not sipping that coffee, not sipping anything, because at the end of the day, that would mean I'm sipping the same coffee as you, isn't it? Because I believe the same. We want the same. We dream the same dream, mate. Agreed, but he is worth more than 30 million. Yeah, I do agree with that, Sniper Man. He's worth 40 at the end of the day, but we seem to be the only club who can't seem to get good deals for players, like big money for players. It seems like we just accept anything these days, which is it's crazy at the end of the day. We're the only club who doesn't have expensive players. It seems that way. Do you know what I'm saying? No, not aimed at you, mate. I go do my utmost to get Tony, bro. We need a real depth. Tony's a fantastic player, Sam. Tony is a fantastic player, brilliant player. How much it will cost is another thing. It would just absolutely break the bank for us if we did get a Tony. If we got him for 50 million, that would be good. But is it a priority? Is it a priority? You have to say. I believe every position is a priority, and we always should be looking for upgrades in our squad. But at the end of the day, it's up to Ineos, isn't it? Are they going to spend that money on Tony? I like Tony. Obviously, he's going to get British tax, and that's the problem with it, you know. Problem. McTominay is good, a utility player, not good enough to take us to the elite level. Yeah, Kenny, absolutely spot on. It's precisely my point. He's good, but not enough to take us to the elite level. And he's been there so long now, and I think he needs to go to pastures new. Obviously, he's 27 years old, so he needs to go now. Sancho must go. Yeah, Sniper Man, Sancho does need to go. I don't trust him anymore. The trust is gone. But if he does stay, I will support him and hope he does well. But no more crap. No more. Playing from I don't want to play from the right. I don't want to play from the left. I'm not playing enough. All this rubbish that we're hearing from Sancho over the years, it's getting too much now. So he has to step up now. If he doesn't step up, the door is there. I'm tired of these players trying to make a living at Manchester United and sabotaging our seasons every single year. Is it late to training? Yeah, he's always late to training. And as I said, I got crucified last year when I posted a video of Sancho training, and he was doing those, you know, those light press ups. And then everyone jumped to me. Oh, you can't say that about him. You know, you're just propaganda. This, that. Mate, I'm not player FC. Training is everything. If you cannot put in 100% in training, how are you going to put 100% on the pitch? And that's my point. And you look at these guys and you think, you never trained once in your life. What are you talking about? I take Tony 100% once we sort the midfield and defence. Absolutely. We support. Absolutely. Once we support the midfield, if we get midfield support and defensive support, if we get a Ugarte, if we get a De Ligt, if we get a Mazzaruri, if we get a left-sided centre-back as well, I'm big on that. And then we can go on to the attacking player. Absolutely. Attacking player will be the last. But if we can have enough money to get him, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I love Omo as well. Not love him like personally. I like him as a player. I love him as a player. I think Omo's a great player and he would have been a great signing, but I don't think he's going to be coming. I think he's going to be going to Barcelona. Some team like that. After we get the Kerry Nixon, after we get the major signings, if we got even, let me just write this comment. After we get the major signings, if we get even Tony signing for, we are going to touch. Yeah, mate. We will challenge. Even Tony, we're going to challenge anyway, but if we get even Tony, he's a big player. Will we sign him? I don't know, mate. I'm not too sure about that one. Sniper Man being late to training once or twice, even thrice is okay, but being late yes, Sniper Man, absolutely. And do you know, winning is a small, like as I said the other day, what's the difference between second in 100 meters and first in 100 meters? You know, and at the end of the day, it's fine margins, isn't it? And if you're not training well, that could be the fine margins. I bring on 1996, right? England against Germany in the Euro 2000 and Euro 1996 semi-final. The cross comes in. It's a golden goal back then. Gaza comes in for the to tap the ball into the box, into the goal. Sorry, he comes in, he slides in, he misses the ball by literally millimeters. He said after the game that the night before he had a doner kebab and chips. Now that doner kebab and chips could have been the reason he missed that goal. He even admitted it himself. It's mad, isn't it? Let's read some of these. Kenny, I remember Pogba was late to training. That's where the player season started. Yeah, players can't be late for training. This is Manchester United. We cannot have players late for training. We cannot have all this. Oh, sorry, mate. I was just picking up something. I'm late. Nah. What would happen under Sir Alex Ferguson? And that's what I like about Ten Hag, because Ten Hag is disciplining these players. He's disciplining. He's calling it out, and that's a good thing. I don't want any of this softness in this club anymore. You know, it's nothing to do personally. You get up, you go to training on time. That's it. Sancho isn't fit enough to play in the Prem. Yeah, he's more of a Bundesliga type player, Sam. Absolutely agree. More than he's got the talent, but not the motivation for that. That's what happens when you give That's what happens when you give a kid 300 grand a week. Top comment. That's what happens. Not earn it, you know, at the end of the day. And we gave him too much money. Should be earned half that minimum. You know, half that. And at the end of the day, we're giving him 300,000 a week. He's rich. He's like, it doesn't matter if we lose. I'm going to go out and spend my money. It's that sort of mentality. Do you know what I mean? And I come from a day of Beckham, Giggs, Kanchelskis, Hughes, Cantona. I come from these times, and it's completely different. You know why these players are not going to give 100%. Where was Sancho in the Champions League final? Are you watching the Olympics? Yeah. What are your thoughts on Pogba when Lingard and dancing? Mate, my thoughts on it is that culturally, it is their Pogba's culture. He's a dancer. He likes to dance. I'm not going to have any bones about him dancing. But dancing after we've lost the football match is a bit too much for me to digest somewhat. Lingard was another bad influence. Have you heard of Lingard since he left Manchester United? I haven't. You know, he was there at West Ham, did okay. Now he went to South Korea. He hasn't done nothing, has he? Am I watching the Olympics? I'm not totally watching the Olympics. I'm not a big fan at the moment of this particular Olympics. I lived a stone's throw away from the 2012 Olympics. I lived in Leighton in East London. It was like a walk away from the Stratford Stadium. So I did see a lot of Olympics then. This particular one, I'm not watching it. But Great Britain have moved up to fourth in the table, I believe. Great Britain have gone up to fourth in the table. Big up. I didn't like it when Ronaldo got out of the club. I didn't like it as well, mate. But at the end of the day, he wanted to leave a year before, didn't he? He wanted to leave a year before, and we didn't grant him the wish. He stayed one more year. He done a great service for us. I felt like we didn't get enough money from him, but it did upset me as well, and it did derail us a lot. He was a big player for us. So was Tevez as well. You know, he's big players. With Ten Hag, rest, I love the club. You know, that's my only issue with Ten Hag. So I feel like Ten Hag has a big season this season, and I feel like he will prove a lot of people wrong, and he will go out with a bang next season, and he will show a lot of people. I'm dying on this hill. I told you. I said we're going to go for the league. We're going to go and challenge. I believe that, and I trust every single one of those players that stay at the club. Every single one of them. There's no hate. There's no agendas. There's nothing. They're still growing, and but still Premier League is growing, and it's not just for the old people anymore. At the end of the day, the Premier League has regressed in regards to its talent. It's regressed. And I'll say that as a guy who's middle-aged, who's seen both. I'm not old. It's middle-aged. It's regressed a lot. Football has regressed. If I go through the talent that was in the 90s and the early 2000s to now, it's painfully obvious. Rashford going to the club after we've been humiliated. What about the apples? Rashford going to club after we've been humiliated. What about the apples? I don't quite get that, mate. I don't get that. What about the apples? What apples? I love apples, but I haven't eaten an apple in a while. So about back Ten Hag and was equally upset when Ron was forced out. I thought, you know what, Mark? I thought he was talking about the Ronaldo when he left Alex Ferguson, under Alex Ferguson. I thought he was talking about. No, Ron had to go. Ron had to go. You can't be walking out of the stadium disrespecting the club like that. You can't. I'm sorry. I love Ronaldo, right? He's given me some of the best memories for Man United, but you cannot walk out of a stadium. Manchester United history, the adversity. everything that we stand for, you're walking out. That's how the quality of talent in the league is now. The quality of talent has. I can go to the 90s and I can pick out any team, right? You could pick out any team from the 90s, any team from the early 2000s, but at the end of the day, this is like the talent has regressed immensely. Like when we played in the Champions League, we won the treble. We played Juventus, we played Inter Milan, we played Bayern Munich. Did you see the Juventus team? Del Piero, right? Edgar Davids, Zinedine Zidane, Inzaghi, Peruzzi, Conte, that team. The Inter Milan team, Zamorano, Ronaldo, R9, Zanetti. These are big teams. Even Sampdoria had players like Tilio Lombardo and David Platt, and players, I'm saying, Gianluca Vialli, and players. You need to look at what teams were back in those days, man. You need to look. It's just madness. Ronaldo disrespected the club walking out. So 2-0 win Spurs. Honestly, can't do that. You can't do that, Kenny. You can't. As much as we love a player, no one is bigger than a club, as I said. Name a better left back than Wayne Bridge this year. Oh, Wayne Bridge. I think Wayne Bridge, he had some dramas, didn't he, with John Terry? Was it John Terry? Yeah. There's no one as good as Wayne Bridge in this millennia. Not even, you can't even talk about left backs now. Who's good as Dennis Irwin? Who's as good as Ashley Cole? No one. Even players like Carr, who played for Tottenham back then, no one's as good as him. We need to back Eric because the best of our players. Yeah, we need to back Eric, and that's where I'm going to conclude this show. We need to back Eric this season. We need to get those transfers through the door. I could be right, I could be wrong, but what we want is we want some here we goes today. We want here we goes by Monday. I predicted last week that we have a here we go today. So let's hope that we get a here we go today. If not, the one is imminent, definitely imminent, and we have to be excited about the coming season. And if we don't get our way, we just support the team and we just support the club. There's nothing personal. It's all about opinion at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, we all want Manchester United to do well. We're on the same boat. We want the championship. That's what we want. That's what we do. We're Manchester United. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. It's been a great show. Thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to smash a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Very important. Things like Porto, when we used to face them in teams like in Champions League. Porto, before I leave, Porto had Deco, they had Ferreira. Let's not forget before they had Deco and Ferreira, they had players like what was that guy who played up front? The players Ardell, players like that, and we beat them 4-0 in the Champions League. And they were brilliant. They're absolutely amazing team. Were brilliant. Basically, how about them apples is an American way of saying how about felt that. Same as Rashford lying, the coach, United and teammates are not showing up to practice, that he was injured and clubbing the night before. Yeah, mate, absolutely spot on, Cohen. You've said some good stuff here. Very, very spot on. How about the apples is American way of saying how you felt about that. Yeah. How about them apples? Yeah, I know that saying, actually. I know that saying. My grandma's American, so obviously I do pick up some. And my grandma said, yeah, I've heard that saying before. Yeah, absolutely spot on. Players need to step up next season. Players need to stop going clubbing before games, Rashford, etc. And one thing I'll say about Anthony is that he's never done that. And I think the players that have done that, Sancho, Rashford, should be out the door before, and Anthony before anyone else. And that's my opinion as well. So then on that, guys, you've been absolute legends. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a great show, and we're just getting started. We're getting warmed up for the season. The season is coming. It's all love, guys. Don't forget to smash a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That would be brilliant. Here we goes are coming. Big news is coming soon. Don't worry about it. We're going to be up there next season and we're going to challenge for that title. This is the time. This is our time. All the best, guys. Take it easy. Peace.